Thank you so much for staying tuned. If you just joined us, this is TMI. Well, we want to take a look at the arrest of Simon Ekpa in Finland and the implication in the southeastern part of Nigeria. Get to hear, sit at home, sit at home. If you don't sit at home, there'll be trouble. And the citizens from that region always obey the disbanded IPOP, so they don't want trouble. Despite the fact that governors will give a counter order saying, look, you guys should go about your normal business. They'll be like, no, Mr. Governor, we respect you, we love you, but in this regard, it's like these guys have upper hands than you by their action of actually sitting at home. So sometimes every Monday, people from the East suffer massive losses economically over the arrest of Simon Ekpa. Do you think all this will change? I would be here in the studio, the same set of analysts we're talking about, those states. I believe they have one or two things to say about what is happening in the East. I want to start off from Innocent Kotobo. Now, what do you feel about the arrest of Simon Ekpa in Finland by the Finnish government?
Okay, thank you very much. Good morning, viewers. Thank you for having me once again on this. Simon Ekpa. Arrest of Simon Ekpa. We've been hearing he has been arrested, he has been arrested. We've not even seen a footage. They have arrested him. If he's currently being tried, we've not seen anything. So it's just a news making the rounds on social media and some of our electronic media. Now, looking at the whole scenario, I don't really think that Simon Ekpa as a human, I see that guy firstly I see him as a content creator.
Content creator?
Yes. So when they say Simon Ekpa is one of the sponsors of hype-hop in the Southeast, causing unrest in the Southeast, when I see his activities, watch his activities on social media, I feel, to an extent, he actually, his utterances encourages lawlessness in the Southeast. Now, arresting him by the Finnish government, Nigeria and the Finnish government, they have no bilateral treaty as it concerns extradition. So whatever they arrested him for, I think will be treated there. Simon Ekpa was accused by the Finnish government of sponsoring terrorism in Southeast Nigeria. But I think whatever thing that has happened to him, arrest will end there. I don't think anything will come out of it.
You don't think anything will come out of it?
Yes.
All right. Okoro Solabayo, do you share his view? He said he's been arrested in Finland. He's having doubt if the extradition or arrest is real because just there. And some media, and of course some electronic media, social media, nothing is going to change in the Southeast. What do you feel about it?
Thank you so much, Wilson. I think, first of all, I will want to not support it that he sees him as a content creator. So many lives has been lost by the comment of that content creator. So many lives, so billions have been lost. So he does not really sound as a content creator. That's why some of us are happy with the arrest from the Finnish government. It is time to also finish the man and make the man who has made sit at home to also sit at home. Because the Simon Ekpa that we all know, if he was not truly arrested, it would have since also come out to start also ranting and disturbing. Because you cannot just sit in your comfort zone, things going on well for you, and start telling people not to go to their daily job. Are you getting it? Now, people so myopically now believing in you that this one should work and this one is not work. Me, although I'm not against the IPOB Biafra, but I say, but the IPOB issue is not what I phantom or want at all. Because whatever that goes into the issue of killing, citing the issue of these, our brothers that now turned colors into killings in Edo. Are you getting it now? So it has made some of us also now hate anything that concerns them. Because why will you on your own just sit at home and say, okay, it's time to kill somebody? Why are you killing the person? The person was wearing a red cap. Can't you see the person don't match me? Can't you see the way he's looking at me? Can't you see that he's toasting my girlfriend? Irrelevant issues. When you have our farmers suffering in the farm by herdsmen disturbing them? Why didn't we use our color to chase these people out of the state? So this man, Simon Ekpa, I think it's time for him to bar in Benin, for time for him to commit. Are you getting that? Because you cannot on your own just keep disturbing people. Yeah, after the arrest of Nnamdi Kanu, he just took over, sometimes saying Nnamdi Kanu is not his leader. As in, for his age, it's not what even disturbing the peace. Yes. But I'm also now very happy. My brother has said the Finnish government and Nigerian government does not have bilateral issue. But I thought this one is what concerns killing you. So by the time, I'm sure, by the time the issue rises up before now, if the government wants him here, they can bring him here. Because don't forget how Nnamdi Kanu was brought. Nobody, government cannot be written by small letter G. Just the way God Almighty cannot be written with the small letter G. Fear government. If government wants Simon Ekpa to come and buy in Nigeria, it will not take them 48 hours to bring him down. Right. I get it now. So what you can also see that there is silence in the federal government of Nigeria on this issue, because they are also studying the terrain, not to also make the southeast more hostile. Are you getting it now? So the government has been mute on it. That is why you see, if you are not very, very versatile with your social media handle, you will not even know the man, Simon Ekpa, neither knew if he has been arrested. All right. So it is time he's being taught how to sit at home.
Okay, well, we want to go for a break before we hear from Dr. Andrew Mosefe on this particular discussion. Don't go away. We will be right back.
TMI, every opinion counts.
Thanks a lot for staying tuned. If you just joined us, this is TMI. We're taking a look at the arrest of Simon. Yes, the self-acclaimed IPOP. They rejected him already, saying they have nothing to do with him. But his arrest has been resonating around Finland and, of course, in Nigeria. Some are saying the Finnish government should finish him. Others saying no, bring him down to Nigeria to answer for his crimes. Well, Dr. Andrew, what do you have to say about this?
Well, the arrest of Simon Ekpa is a welcome development. Simon Ekpa has been the chief terrorist in the southeast ever since the arrest of Nnamdi Kanu. He has been responsible for the death of so many persons and the loss of revenue running into billions of dollars in the southeast. And so he has used his social media handle to create fear, tension in the southeast. And through his numerous activities on the social media, a whole lot of people, you know, have now become afraid of Mondays, because Mondays is now synonymous with sit at home. There was a time I was to travel to Enugu, and I was to go for a conference. That conference, you know, was scheduled to start on Monday, 3 days conference. But when I got to Enugu on Sunday, I was informed that the start of that conference will no longer be Monday, but Tuesday. And that Monday was declared a sit at home. Now, the organizers of that conference lost, you know, time, lost resources as a result of that one-day shift. Because you couldn't have brought me to Enugu to speak in a conference that was scheduled to begin on Monday. You will not pay me. You have to pay. And so they had to pay for an extra day for us to remain in that conference. So the truth is, Simon Ekpa, you know, constituted himself into a government that could order people to sit at home in 5 states, frustrated the efforts of citizens in those 5 states, to the extent that, you know, one started querying the authenticity, the actual motive of IPOP. IPOP ordinarily will tell you that they are fighting for the liberation of Biafra land, and that they want a state of their own, and all of that. But according to IPOP, Simon Ekpa's activities deviated from what IPOB stands for. And at some point, Simon Ekpa was even telling the whole world that Nnamdi Kanu was no longer the leader of IPOB and that he was now the leader. In one breath, he will tell you, I'm fighting, Nnamdi Kanu is the leader. In another breath, he will tell you he's the leader. And so, a whole lot of people also fell victim of his shenanigans, to the extent that people will send money, you know, into a collective pool, you know, that purportedly was to aid the fight for the liberation of Biafra land, not knowing that they were empowering this young man and making him richer in the process. And so Simon Ekpa, I would disagree with my brother Innocent when he says Simon Ekpa was a content creator. He's not a content creator. The guy is a terrorist. You can't, a content creator would not just sit at home, would not declare sit at home, and anybody who flags that order is killed. If you know the maiming, the killings that happens in the southeast, you will not, you will be amazed. On a Monday morning, they take over the streets of the southeast. These fierce-looking IPOB fighters. You dare not go to the southeast and talk freely. You dare not even go to some areas at some certain time in the southeast. You will be killed. They are as helpless as you can imagine. And so, when I heard that he was arrested by the Finnish government, I was very happy. And you could also see the response of the DHQ, that's Department of the headquarters of the Army.
Yeah.
When they welcomed the arrest of Simon Ekpa, and they also said that modalities are also being put in place for his extradition. And whether Nigeria has a military pact or an extradition pact with the Finnish government is not even the issue here. The issue for which is being tried is terrorism in the southeast of Nigeria. So I'm sure when Nigeria decides to open talks with the Finnish government on possible extraditions, I'm sure the Finnish government will oblige, since the crime that he's being tried for, you know, is a crime that actually happened in Nigeria.
Okay, now if we take a look at the situation of Nnamdi Kanu, IPOB, according to a report, have been clamoring for the release of Nnamdi Kanu, as they will not stop the sit-at-home instruction or order that continue disturbing the southeastern part of the country. Now, with the addition of Simon, now he's in incarceration. All right, do you think these agitators will continue disturbing the government of the day? Innocent.
Well, when I say this guy is a content, I see him as a content creator.
Yeah.
His attitude, his acts in social media, I actually don't take him serious. Now, talking about Nnamdi Kanu, you know, this agitation actually started from the former warlord, Timego Juku. Ralph Wazuike picked it up from there. Nnamdi Kanu, that is currently in incarceration. Then this guy that comes to the social media once in a while to say some very statements or some statements that will spike these people, that will make them go about killing people. I feel this guy is being used by certain persons.
He's being used?
Yeah. The real sponsor of IPOB, I don't think Simon Ekpa is just, you know, what had during the Niger Delta struggle, there is a faceless person. This kind of faceless person always releases statement online. They call him Jomo Bomo. That person never existed. That person was used by those persons that were funding the militant then. We saw those guys were in the field fighting. Nnamdi Kanu at some point was in the UK. Once it comes into Nigeria and was fighting for the liberation of Biafra before he went back and started insulting the past government that later got him arrested in one of the East African countries. Now, Nnamdi Kanu, then this other Simon Ekpa, whether the government, whether it will further aggravate the mind of these persons that are in the battle for the liberation of the indigenous people of Biafra. Well, I would say, yes, it will. Nnamdi Kanu, that's if he's, I see this guy, they will release this guy. The Finnish government will release this guy. So I see this whole thing as a joke. I said it earlier. Don't forget that this guy was arrested. He was arrested before now. Yeah. Some months ago, Simon Ekpa was arrested. And what happened? He was released. Not up to, he didn't stay in the custody of the Finnish investigation team up to 3 days. They released him. And now they arrested him. The Finnish government, they've not opened any conversation with the Nigerian government. If you heard the chief of defense staff, CG Musa, was crying, it was like, if this person happened to be in Nigeria trying to destabilize Finland, the European Union would have spoken out about it. They would have put pressure on Nigeria to bring this person for a possible trial. Either the United Nations or the European Union, they have not said anything. The Finnish government of Finland and Nigeria, they've not started conversing. The government, they've heard Nnamdi Kanu for a very long time now. And I feel that is an injustice against the people of the East.
So you're saying that they are prepared to do more harm?
Yes.
Okay.
Why? Because Sunday Igboho, who was arrested in the Benin Republic and was later released, I think Bobak was released by this government, is going about his activities. Some time ago, like some months ago, even when Tinubu was president, some persons came up with Oduduwa Republic. They arrested some of them. Those persons have been released. There was a cry all over the country. He said, release Nnamdi Kanu. Even the leaders of Southeast have cried, release this man. Release this man so that he will talk to these guys, so that they will down tools. But the government have decided to hold him.
All right.
Why people arrested, Boko Haram arrested, Boko Haram, not even suspects, confirmed they have a relationship with Boko Haram, arrested by the Buhari's government, were released, rehabilitated, and they were brought back into the society. And they go about doing their activities. So why is that of the South is different? The leaders have spoken. They should release Nnamdi Kanu. Then the government can have sign a pact with him.
All right. All right. Over to you, Barry. We have limited time. He said he's going to aggravate this proscribed IPOB militia group, the wreak havoc more intensely, so to speak, right now, if I was to go a superlative form on the Southeast.
The truth remains, my heart bleeds for the people that still believe in this set of people. You are on your own also killing the developmental hope that is supposed to be on that way, driving the people that are supposed to bring investment on that place. The grace the Southeast still have is because their people are known for productivity. That is their grace. If it was a region that believes in importation, it would have been grounded by now because of what they suffered, because of this sit-at-home syndrome and the killings. You can see why we cannot also compare the issue of this guy with Simon with the Yoruba agitators. Igboho was that. I think you cannot put any blood on that guy's hand or any order to say our people should do this or not to do that. It's not like this one, who on day in, day out, key policemen, key soldier men, key market women, do this. And when you already do that, you are already asking the federal government to fight you. And it also goes to show that when you have a failure in leadership, the federal government security architecture from down up has failed totally. That is why you see we are saying they should negotiate. Tell a government to negotiate with an individual or a group of people. That's stupidity. How can the government be doing that? How many people are the IPOB? And how many soldiers are in just Benin here? Benin. Not to talk of the 36 states of the country. If they decide, when they said the election was not going to hold in Anambra, and the federal government decided to do election in Anambra, what happened? Wasn't it so lost? So if the federal government was really ready, was election not held in those eastern states? When IPOB said no election in the southeast, but federal government said the election will be there, and the election was said that nothing happened every day for. So if the federal government is really ready, serious with words, Simon Ekpa will not just buy, will be bar forever.
Okay, thank you. Well, Dr. Andrew, you have the last line on this particular talk in less than 1 minute because our time is completely up. What advice do you have for people in the Southeast?
Well, my advice for the people of the Southeast is to remain peaceful, to go about their normal activities. They should also understand that the days of intimidation, harassment is over, and that with the arrest of Simon Ekpa, their businesses, will bounce back, and then there will be joy in the land. I don't think that the arrest of Simon Ekpa will, aggravate, the fight. IPOB on their own have come up with an official statement, and they are happy with the arrest of Simon Ekpa. They are only calling for the release of Nnamdi Kanu, and I don't think there will be further. Simon Ekpa really doesn't mean. In short, what he means to IPOB is what it means to the people of the South, right, which is terror. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Let's see how all this will pan out. Tomorrow is Monday. Whenever you sit at home with observing, we'll definitely get back to you with the report. Gentlemen, I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for spending your time with us in the studio. Seriously, really. Anyway, see you guys some other time. Bye for now.